Number 10. Blake and Robin Lively. Long before Blake Lively ever landed her starring role in the teen drama Gossip Girl, her older half-sister Robin Lively had a thriving acting career of her own. Back in the day, she starred in the cult classic film Teen Witch, and even had a major role on the hit show Twin Peaks. In an interview with Access Hollywood in 2017, the sisters sweetly shared that they are, quote, best friends, and that their bond is everything despite their 15-year age gap. They also have 3 more siblings: Robin's sister and Blake's half-sister Lori, Robin's brother and Blake's half-brother Jason, and Blake's brother and Robin's half-brother Eric. Lori is the oldest and Blake is the youngest of the crew. All 5 share the same mother, talent agent Eileen Lively, and all 5 have worked in the entertainment industry. Talk about good genes. Oh, and not to mention Blake's net worth of $30 million. Number 9. Dennis and Randy Quaid. Brothers Dennis and Randy Quaid have had many things in common: parents, a love of acting, and tons of public struggles. Younger brother Dennis's career took off in the 80s thanks to roles in Interspace, The Big Easy, and Great Balls of Fire. But in the 90s, he struggled with substance abuse disorder, an eating disorder, and eventually a messy divorce from America's sweetheart, Meg Ryan. Older brother Randy, meanwhile, made a name for himself in the 70s and 80s, even earning an Oscar nomination for The Last Detail in 1973, and gaining a massive fan base as Cousin Eddie in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies. But a while back, he got into quite a bit of trouble with the law. Quaid and his wife Evie were wanted on a felony vandalism charges in California in 2010. The Quaids were detained at the Canadian border one night while trying to re-enter the United States after Canadian officials granted Evie citizenship, but denied Randy permanent residences and said he would be deported. Court papers said the Quaids damaged or destroyed furniture, a fireplace and a mirror in the guest room, and so much more. Number 8. Ariel Winter and Jimmy Workman. Ariel Winter is best known for playing middle sister Alex on the popular ABC sitcom Modern Family, but in real life, Winter is the youngest of 3, with an older sister and an older brother. What fans might not realize though is that they might already know her brother. His name is Jimmy Workman, and he played Pugsley in The Addams Family and Addams Family Values in the 90s. Winter's family dramas have been in the media for years, as People reports she and her brother are currently estranged, ever since Workman sided with their mother when she denied Winter's abuse allegations. According to a report, Winter was allegedly subjected to slapping, hitting, and pushing by Workman, as well as, quote, vile name-calling, personal insults about minor or minor's weight, attempts to sexualize minor, and deprivation of food for an extended period of time. Number 7. Mary-Kate, Ashley, and Elizabeth Olsen. Mary-Kate Olsen is an American businesswoman, fashion designer, equestrian, and former actress. And Ashley Fuller Olsen is an American businesswoman and former actress as well. They began their acting career 9 months after their birth, sharing the role of Michelle Tanner in the television sitcom Full House from 1987 to 1995. They also starred in numerous films together. In 1993, the production company Dull Star Entertainment Group was founded, which produced a long string of television films and direct-to-video releases featuring the girls. They starred in Passport to Paris in 1999, Our Lips Are Sealed in 2000, Winning in London in 2001, Holiday in the Sun in 2001, and in the television series So What Little Time from 2001 to 2002, for which they were nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in Children's Programming. They starred in Getting in There in 2002, When in Rome in 2002, The Challenge in 2003, and made cameos in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle in 2003 as well. And the last film they starred in was New York Minute in 2004. They continued their acting career independently, appearing with a few guest star roles in films and television shows, with Mary-Kate's very last film being Beastly in 2011. Now on to Lizzie. Elizabeth Chase Olsen is an American actress. Olsen began acting at the age of 4, and she starred in her debut film role in the thriller Martha Marcy May Marlene in 2011, for which she was acclaimed and nominated for a Critics' Choice Movie Award among other accolades, followed by a role in the horror film Silent House. Olsen also received a BAFTA Rising Star Award nomination and graduated from New York University 2 years later. But Olsen gained worldwide recognition for her portrayal of Wanda Maximoff or Scarlet Witch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe media franchise, starring in the superhero films Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, as well as the miniseries WandaVision. Her performance in WandaVision garnered her nominations for a Primetime Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award. Combined, the 3 siblings have an estimated net worth of $511 million. While Mary-Kate and Ashley used to be very famous in the early 2000s, the 2 stars have still managed to maintain a $500 million net worth, which gives each of the twins $250 million. Elizabeth Olsen, on the other hand, rose to fame recently with her current net worth at $11 million. Number 6. Lily and Alfie Allen. In 2006, British pop star Lily Allen released a song called Alfie, playfully begging her lazy brother to straighten out his life and get a job. So though they may not realize it, Game of Thrones fans might have this song to thank for one of the show's most noteworthy characters. Lily's little brother Alfie Allen joined the hit HBO series as Theon Greyjoy in 2011, even earned an Emmy nomination for his performance in 2019. So I guess he can tell his sister thanks. Lily's net worth is also $4 million and her brother's is actually higher than hers at $6 million. Number 5. Florence Pugh and Toby Sebastian. Florence Pugh has had a huge past few years, with acclaimed roles in Midsommar, Little Woman, and Black Widow. Because they work under different names, you likely missed that her brother Toby Sebastian is also an actor. Most notably, he was in the 5th season of Game of Thrones and an opera singer in the 2017 The Music of Silence, with his net worth of around $2 million and Florence's of $8 million. Number 4. Kate and Oliver Hudson. Almost Famous star Kate Hudson and Rules of Engagement star Oliver Hudson are, unknown to many, both the children of Goldie Hawn and Bill Hudson. After a messy divorce, the siblings were raised by Hawn and stepfather Kurt Russell, and were later very publicly disowned by their biological father. Ever since Oliver Hudson's harsh Father's Day Instagram post, which featured him and his younger sister Kate Hudson as kids, posing with their biological father Bill Hudson, and read Happy Abandonment Day. Bill claimed that he did his best to remain in his children's life for years, but that their mother increasingly pitted them against him. After years of back and forth, Oliver's Instagram post was a final straw for him. The duo now work together under the banner of Kate's activewear brand Fabletics, with her big brother Oliver taking over the men's division FL2. Number 3. Jonah Hill and Beanie Feldstein. In recent years, Jonah Hill has shown the world that he is able to tackle any genre, moving on from teen comedies like Superbad to more serious films like the Oscar-nominated baseball flick Moneyball. And given Hill's success as both an actor and director, it should come as no surprise that talent runs in the family. Hill's younger sister, Beanie Feldstein, earned accolades for her performance in 2019's hilarious coming-of-age dramedy Booksmart, and she also appeared in Greta Gerwig's Oscar-nominated film Lady Bird in 2018. If you weren't aware that Hill and Feldstein were related, don't feel bad. Though Hill's last name is legally Feldstein, Hill is his middle name, only his sister still uses the family name professionally. Despite the difference, these two have a special sibling bond. The Hill got a Hello Beanie tattoo in 2018, in honor of his sister's performance in the 2017 Broadway Hello Dolly, with Jonah's net worth of $16 million and his sister's net worth of $3 million. Number 2. Miley and Noah Cyrus. Together, the two ladies have an estimated net worth of $163 million. However, a majority of it comes from Miley Cyrus. The former Disney Channel star currently has a net worth of $160 million, while her younger sister Noah, who is no doubt just as wild as Miley, is estimated to have only $3 million. Now, I thought it was obvious that they were siblings, but some people really didn't know. And those of you that don't, I'll tell you a bit about Noah. Noah Cyrus is an American singer and actress. As a child actor, she voiced a titular character in the English dub of the film Ponyo in 2008, as well as having minor roles in shows like Hannah Montana with her sister and Doc. In 2016, she made her debut as a singer in the single Make Me Cry, featuring Labyrinth, which peaked at number 46 on the Billboard Hot 100. She has released 3 extended plays, Good Cry in 2018, The End of Everything in 2020, and People Don't Change in 2021. Her debut studio album, The Hardest Part, was then released on September 16th, 2022, and she was also nominated for Best New Artist at the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards. Oh, and fun fact, they also have 3 other siblings, including the famous Trace Cyrus, with his net worth of $3 million just like Noah. Now coming in at number 1, Chris, Liam, and Luke Hemsworth. Brothers Chris Hemsworth from Thor and Liam Hemsworth from The Hunger Games are known all over the world for their dashing good looks and acting skills, but all too often people overlook the third Hemsworth brother Luke, who plays Ashley on HBO's sci-fi drama Westworld. With Chris's net worth at $130 million, Liam's at $28 million, and Luke's at $3 million, there's a reason I put these siblings at number 1.
Coming in at number 10, we have Liechtenstein. The Liechtensteinian royals have a net worth of $4.4 billion and have 600 years of history. Liechtenstein's royal family is one of the wealthiest in all of Europe and has 122 living members. The prince of the family has a statue collection, and the family themselves have a huge collection of over 1,500 famous pictures, 250 paintings, and statues, all smuggled from Germany in WW2. The Austrian government argued that the Liechtenstein pictures were listed and had been illegally exported. It therefore demanded that they be returned. Franz Joseph II never accepted the listing, pointing out that in the 1930s the works had been dispersed over dozens of palaces in several countries. It therefore did not represent a collection, which had to be in a single location. The collection is now the second largest in all of Europe, just below the collection of the United Kingdom. At number 9, we have the Alawite dynasty of Morocco, founded in 1631, but originated in the 13th century. This royal family has a net worth of $8.2 billion and is made of only 19 members. On top of owning billions of dollars worth of assets, the Moroccan royal family has one of the world's longest civil lists, which is the line of royals who are paid money by the government for their service to the state. It is led by King Mohammed VI, who took the throne in 1993, and next in line is the 18-year-old Moulay Hassan. It was reported in 2018 that the young crown prince had been gifted a private jet to travel the world, and that he hoped to study aviation after his schooling. However, Morocco called this report fake news. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. At number 8, there's the House of Maktoum from Dubai. The royal dynasty has just 12 primary members and over hundreds of extended family members. Altogether, the wealth of this family has been estimated to be $18 billion. The prince of the family, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, yes, all of that is his name, owns the world's most expensive camel, a collection of amphibious cars, which is a funny choice considering Dubai has no permanent rivers or lakes. He also bought an entire fleet of airplanes, 40 of them to be exact, and a nice few supercars, which include the Lamborghini Veneno Roadster, the McLaren P1, a Ferrari LaFerrari, an Aston Martin 177, and a Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse. At number 7, there's the House of Bolkiah from Brunei. An estimated $28 billion belongs to the family, much of which comes from the huge amount of oil found in their country. Sultan Hassan al Bolkiah lives in the Astana Nurul Iman Palace, which holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest residential palace, with a total area of 2.2 million square feet. It costs an insane $1.4 billion to build back in 1984. The head of the Bolkiah family is also rumored to own 7,000 supercars, including 600 Rolls Royces and 300 Ferraris, as well as several private jets. Here's number 6, the Chakri dynasty of Thailand. Estimated at $60 billion this time, more than doubling our last entry. The number isn't totally exact, as there is a law against disclosing the wealth of the family in detail. With 22 people making up the Thailand dynasty, they've been through a few protests for reforms of the monarch. The protests were neutralized, however, by loyalists and devotees counter-protesting. All of the wealth from the Chakri dynasty has been signed off to the king, Maha Vajiralongkorn, in 2018. His assets, which can be spent at the king's pleasure, include enormous areas of valuable real estate in central Bangkok, large stakes in several key Thai companies, and shares in luxury hotel group Kempinski. At number 5, we have one of the most well-known royal families, the British royal family. The family is home to more than a few members and a fair share of controversy as one of the most publicized royal families. Their estimated net worth in 2021 was up to $88 billion. When then Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decided to be financially independent from the family, the public were very confused, as most of Harry's net worth came straight from his inheritance. Unsurprisingly, the Queen herself held the most of the wealth, valued at around $428.3 million. Part of that comes from profits generated from the Crown Estate, known as the Sovereign Grant, and income from real estate such as Balmoral Castle in Scotland and Sandringham House in Norfolk, England. Here's number 4, the House of Nahyan, hailing from Abu Dhabi. This house actually descends from the same tribe as the House of Maktoum in Dubai. The number of male members in the family is 200. However, for some secretive reason, the number of female members is kept a tight secret. Just like many royal families in the Middle East, the House of Nahyan derives its $150 billion from the oil found within its country, Abu Dhabi. The king of this clan is actually one of the wealthiest landlords in London, as he owns an entire empire there valued at $7.1 billion in England's capital. At the 3rd spot, there's Qatar's royal family, the House of Thani. The current ruler is 40 years old and is actually the youngest sovereign in the world currently. The family's members reach into the thousands, ranging from 7,000 to 8,000 members. This family has got $335 billion in the safe, but this has apparently put a target on their heads. 28 members of a royal hunting party were kidnapped in Iraq in 2015. And a ransom of $1 billion was paid for their release in 2017. The Qatar's fund's assets include London's Shard skyscraper, the UK capital's Olympic Village and Harrods department store, as well as substantial stakes in New York's Empire State Building and famous firms including Volkswagen, Barclays, and British Airways. In the 2nd spot, there's Kuwait's royals belonging to the El Sabah family. They are worth up to $360 billion and 1,000 members. Much of the wealth is thought to be tied up in US stocks and shares, which which have skyrocketed in value over the years, with the conservative value of all of their stocks being priced at $360 billion. In reality, it could be much larger. The family is reported to have huge stocks in major blue chip companies in the US. Finally, at number 1, we have the Saudi Arabian royal family, the House of Saud. This extremely wealthy group of around 15,000 royals have an estimated more than $1.4 trillion shared amongst them. That's enough money to completely pay off Canada's federal debt. Per person, that's almost $100 million, which is insane, considering the average Saudi Arabian family makes around $2,666 a month. The current King Salman has held the title since only 2015, and most of the power over the country and wealth belongs to the monarch and his relatives. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, who was arrested by the Saudi government in 2017 on corruption charges, is the second wealthiest individual member of the family with an estimated net worth of $13.4 billion.
Number 10 with the Mars family. When you hear the word Mars, one of two things probably come to mind. One being the planet Mars and 2 being the candy Mars bar. Well, that's the one I'm talking about. Some family members work at the company and serve on the board of directors. Mars was founded in 1911 when Frank Mars started selling candy out of his kitchen in Tacoma, Washington. Frank's son Forrest Sr. joined the company in 1929 and helped his father develop the malt-flavored nougat that became the basis of the Milky Way. A multi-generational family business that is widely popular today, the company is better known for making M&Ms than for its Mars bar now. In 2017, the world's largest candy company diversed with the purchase of VCA, which is a pet care company, for $9.1 billion. Siblings Jacqueline and John Mars, whose grandfather Frank Mars founded the company, each has a net worth of $31.7 billion and are tied for number 41 on Forbes' list of billionaires. The company is now being run by some of their children, the 4th generation of Mars family members. Now coming in at number 9, the Gallo family. More than a dozen descendants of brothers Ernest and Julio Gallo inherited the California winery they founded in 1933. E&J Gallo Winery, the largest winemaker in the world, pulled in an estimated $5 billion in revenue in 2019. The Gallo family fortune is derived from a few avenues. The brothers founded the world's largest winemakery in Modesto, California. Their other brother Joseph assisted with the family business until he opened his first dairy company and sold cheese as Joseph Gallo Cheese. Ernest and Julio even won a bitter lawsuit in 1992 against their brother Joseph over his use of the Gallo name for his cheese business. His children now run Joseph Farms, while the descendants of Ernest and Julio run E&J Gallo Winery, which generates estimated annual revenues of $3.8 billion. The company, however, sells more than wine these days, having added liquor to the list as well, with the whole family's net worth being around $10.7 billion and sitting on 15,000 acres in the Central Valley of California. Number 8, Johnson family. So based on the title, I'm sure you can guess which one this is about, but if not, maybe this will jog your memory.
We work hard, so you don't have to.
All over the bathroom.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Robert Wood Johnson founded health products Giant Johnson & Johnson in 1886, providing the world with dental floss and first aid kits. His son Robert Wood Johnson II was nicknamed the General and took over the family business in 1932, in the process turning it into a global brand. The General and brother Seward Johnson both passed with enormous fortunes. The General left the bulk of his to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. The rest went to heirs including Woody Johnson, the New York Jets owner and scandal-plagued ambassador to the UK and the Trump White House. Woody's 2017 federal financial disclosure said that he had $1.7 billion in wealth outside of the Jets. Recent ones are unclear on where those assets stand. The company is one of the largest financial services firms in the world, providing investment services to millions of people. The firm is now run by Johnson's granddaughter, Abigail Johnson, who ranks 75th on the Forbes billionaires list and a net worth of $21.2 billion. Number 7, the Rockefeller family. John D. Rockefeller became America's first billionaire after founding Standard Oil in 1870, which eventually controlled a majority of the country's oil refining. He and his son, John Jr., dedicated themselves to philanthropy, giving away more than $1 billion and establishing the University of Chicago. In 2016, the Rockefeller Family Fund, a family philanthropic entity, made waves when it announced it would divest from all fossil fuel investments. John's grandson, David, was the oldest living billionaire at the age of 101 before his passing in 2017. His will designated most of his wealth for charity. The family's fortune is now split among 174 members, and in total, the family's net worth is $11 billion. Number 6, the Butt family. Florence Butt founded H-E-B grocery store in Texas in 1905 when Florence Butt opened a small grocery store with just $60. Her son Howard expanded throughout the state when he took over the company in the 1920s, renaming it H.E. Butt Grocery Company in 1928. Howard's son Charles got his start as a bag boy at age 8 in the 1940s and succeeded his father as CEO in 1971. His son Charles is a majority shareholder and currently runs the company, which has 400 stores in Texas and Mexico and generates $25 billion in annual sales. Halfway at number 5, the Cathy family. Samuel Truett Cathy founded the famous fast food chain Chick-fil-A in 1967. Since then, the family-owned business has remained in the hands of second and third generation family members. Truett's sons Dan Cathy and Don Cathy run the company as CEO and executive vice president. Dan Cathy grew up doing odd jobs in his father's restaurants, including scraping chewing gum from table bottoms with a butter knife. They each have reported net worth of $5.5 billion according to the Forbes 100. When Dan became CEO of Chick-fil-A in 2012, it sparked nationwide protests that he made anti-same-sex marriage remarks. Number 4. The Mellon family. The Mellon family fortune originated when Thomas Mellon invested in coal and real estate in the 1860s. He was so successful he used the investment to become a judge and invested his income in real estate and later banking. He then left his fortune to his children to grow. Between his direct descendants and future generations, they did just that, investing in companies that later became Alcoa and Gulf Oil, now Chevron, and owning companies in media and the railroad industry. Matthew Mellon was the face of the family until his untimely passing in April 2018. The family now has a net worth of $11.5 billion. Number 3. The Duncan family. Dan L. Duncan founded gas and oil company Enterprise Products Partners in 1968 with just $10,000. Before striking gold in pipelines, Dan grew up poor in rural Texas and was raised by his grandmother after losing his mother at age 7. After he passed away in 2010, the company remained under family control and his 4 children inherited a $10 billion estate. The family fortune has since more than doubled with a net worth now of around $24.8 billion. Miranda is now the only one of Dan's children with a role in the company, serving as chairman of the board since 2013. Now coming in at number 2, the Koch family. Fred C. Koch started America's largest private company, Koch Industries, when he co-founded the Wood River Oil and Refining Company in 1940. His son Charles took over as chairman and CEO after he passed in 1967. 3 other sons, Frederick, David, and William, or Bill, also inherited stakes. A power struggle among the brothers led to the ouster of Frederick and Bill, whose shares were reportedly bought out for nearly $800 million in 1983. Brothers Charles and David Koch expanded their father's oil refining firm in Colomagate, Koch Industries, after their other brothers, Frederick and William, left the business following a failed takeover. Today, Koch Industries generates roughly $100 billion in revenue annually. David Koch, who stepped down from a leadership position in the company in 2018, has pledged to contribute more than $1.2 billion to cancer research, hospitals, education, and cultural institutions through the David H. Koch Charitable Foundation. Both brothers reportedly secretly funded some of the biggest summer movies of 2017, including Wonder Woman. Coming in at number 1, Walton family. The Waltons are the richest family in America and, by some measures, the wealthiest in the world. At the top of the value chain in 2022, Alice, Jim, and Rob Walton are each worth around $60 billion and ranked number 16, 18, and 19 on Forbes billionaire list. Walmart is a retail behemoth, founded by Sam Walton in Arkansas in 1962. Walmart is now the world's largest company by 2021 revenues, with $524 billion and over 2.3 million US associates. If Walmart employees comprised their own city, it would be the 3rd most populated American city. Kinda crazy to believe. The company operates approximately 10,000 retail stores worldwide, with 4,742 stores in the US as of May 2022. That's known for big box stores in rural and suburban America. Walmart is celebrated for its low price products and criticized for its labor practices. The company failed to bring its big box consumer lifestyle to New York City, unlike its competitor Target. And that was the top 10 richest families in America you never knew about. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.